Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Brief, inside the winning proposal of the 2025 ULI Hines Student Competition Asia Pacific. My name is Rose Hung, Director of Programs and Thought Leadership at ULI Asia Pacific, and I'm delighted to be your host today. The ULI Hines Student Competition Asia Pacific is a major design and development challenge that brings together multidisciplinary teams to envision bold, sustainable, and financially viable solutions for a real urban site. We are thrilled to be joined by our 2025 finalist teams and two distinguished jury members. Today's program will guide us through the legacy of the competition, a quick overview of how it works, inspiring finalist presentation, a panel discussion to continue the conversation. When it's time for your questions, just type them into the Q&A box below. And finally, a celebratory closing toast to wrap things up. We hope you will enjoy learning from these bright young city builders as we celebrate their hard work and creativity. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Septon Campbell, Managing Director and Head of Conceptual Construction Group for Hines Asia Pacific, to deliver our opening remarks on behalf of our longtime partner and sponsor, Hines.
Thank you, Rose, and thank you to the ULI Asia Pacific for hosting this afternoon's event. As we now enter the fourth year of this competition in Asia Pacific, the ULI Hines Student Competition is a prestigious annual initiative that challenges interdisciplinary teams of final year undergraduate and graduate students to develop visionary, sustainable and practical urban development proposals for real sites in major cities across the region. This is not just a design competition, it's a multidisciplinary opportunity for students to experience current and practical industry scenarios judged by industry professionals. It's an experience to coordinate and collaborate with their colleagues, an opportunity to challenge academic learnings and engage with the industry in readiness for their future careers, an opportunity that Hines are honoured to support and be part of. The competition is part of the ULI's ongoing effort to raise interest among upcoming real estate and property professionals in creating better communities, improving development patterns, and increasing awareness of the need for multidisciplinary solutions to development and design challenges. I'm positive you'll see the outcomes of this effort by ULI in today's presentations. For Hines, the competition holds deep significance as it reflects the legacy of our founder, Gerald D. Hines, a pioneer in innovation and education within the global real estate industry. Through this partnership with the Urban Land Institute, Hines actively supports the development of upcoming and developing talent, promotes creative thinking in urban design, and contributes to shaping more resilient, sustainable, and inclusive communities. The competition also enables Hines to engage with emerging voices in the industry, gain fresh perspectives, and reinforce our commitment to excellence and sustainability in global urban development. Once again, thank you to ULI, and importantly, thank you to all of the participants in this year's competition. And back to you, Rose, and I look forward to this afternoon's presentations.
Thank you, Septon. Can you share your screen? Yeah. Thank you. So adding on from Septon, yes, we are so proud that we are going into a third year in 2025. The competition itself is actually continuing a long-running traditions of the US competition, which is now in their 23rd year. So the journey actually includes 4 stages, and all our finalists today have successfully completed them. First, students form teams of 3 to 5 members from at least 2 different disciplines. Then over just like 3 weeks, they develop a proposal for a real site in a major Asia Pacific city, grounded in site analysis, responsible design, and a feasible financial plan. This year's finalists presented their proposal to the jury in a virtual forum, a very intense and rigorous process. I have heard from our jury just how tight the competition was, and I will be sure to ask them more about that later during our panel discussion. All our finalist teams received a 1-year ULI student membership And our winning team from SAP University also earned a fully fun trip to the ULI Asia Pacific Summit in Hong Kong this May, where they presented their proposal and joined a private networking breakfast with senior leaders from Hines and ULI. So as real estate professional too, we know that great places begin with bold ideas, and this competition is where those ideas take flight. We are honored. Next, please. We are honored to have all three finalist teams with us today. Alchemists from Chulalongkorn University in Thailand, Urban Alchemists from the University of Melbourne in Australia, and Zoning Out crew from SAP University in India. And now let's begin. I will hand it over to the team from Chulalongkorn University to walk us through their proposal, Khai Tak, the immersion venue.
So, good day to our respected judges and participants. We are Team Alchemists from Chulalongkorn University and I am Jay. Today we are excited to present our project Khai Tak the Immersion Venue, a futuristic intersection of innovation, culture, and vitality. So the Khai Tak Cove has a great potential with its effortlessly connected location and central position within a rich surrounding context of culture, neighborhood, community, and business area. Khai Tak Cove is at the heart of Hong Kong's new knowledge and technology corridor, a core element in the city future CBD. So from our perspective, Khai Tak Cove is like the last piece of the puzzle, the one that complete and elevated the Khai Tak development area into a fully formed second iconic CBD. So within our concept, the immersion, we are creating more than a space for people and place to connect, but it's a global hub where digital meets life and community and economy. So this is immersive venue address key challenge, improving work quality to a tech-driven hub, creating opportunity by fostering innovation and startup, and providing sustainable housing to each urban density, guided by Hong Kong INT development policy. Technology drive our vision for a global innovation hub. So the site is divided into three main zones: residential, commercial, and workspace, entertainment, tourism. And our human-centric master plan put people at the heart of Khai Tak, a place to slow down, connect, and enjoy. Through immersion design, architecture, circulation, and activity, draw people to the waterfront. Seamless access link the site to its surrounding walkway, elevated part from Sung Wong Thoi MTR and bike lane. Green space and open space activate the area, making it feel like a neighborhood park rather than a commercial district. And our core concept immersion design is expressed through T-pillar, immersion green, vertical greenery into building to cool the city and bring in nature with green link connecting park and plaza, immersion building, layer architecture that frame view of the water and skyline, immersion route, pathway design as experience journey toward landmark. Together, immersion design is about enhancing how people feel connect and engage with the city. And to tackle Hong Kong density and boost sustainability, our design use step well-oriented building for natural ventilation and daylight and integrate greenery to reduce heat, blend nature with urban life and provide recreation space. So another key idea of our master plan is to create a strong and memorable image for Khai Tak. We achieved this through our waterfront design based on 4 key principles: a vibrant and inclusive public space, seamless accessibility and connectivity through green corridor and terrace, a skyline that enhances view and harmony with the city, and most importantly, a distinct architectural identity that defines to the place. And we use symbolism and iconic design element to create a new identity for Khai Tak. Inspired by the curve of ocean, our organic form represents wave embracing the pole of the East Khai Tak Stadium. We also define Hong Kong iconic mosaic tile from MTR station, integrating them into the facade and public space. So this is 6 main program of immersion ecosystem. This insight shape connected lifestyle ecosystem promoting equity and engagement, starting with a wellness center and outdoor fitness zone that link the community to revitalize waterfront tourism and cultural development through a future tech museum and local event, while attainable housing and service apartment support quality living for young professionals. We identify 4 key groups: tech investors seeking instant connectivity, startup blending work life and play, local looking for wellness and community, and traveler chasing meaningful experience. To support everyday living, we provide attainable housing and service apartment tailored for young professionals seeking better quality of life near their workplace. The residents connect directly to office zone, blending living, working, and leisure in one's ecosystem. To keep people coming back, we create Season Fest, a rotating program of digital showcase blending technology and culture from fintech festival to arts and tech fest and food wellness fair to embody our idea of immersion design where space and experience invite people to engage physically, visually, and emotionally. Finally, we design with cultural tech integration at the core. Through AR, VR, and generative AI, we turn every festival into a new kind of experience where culture is narrated through technology and technology gain meaning through cultural root. So, Kaitaki immersion is our commitment to a future where culture, the soul of society, and technology can go together sustainably. It's a place where people feel like they belong and visitors they will want to come back again. So at the conclude of our presentation, I would like to hand the floor over the team university to walk us for University of Melbourne. Thank you.
Share the screen. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have begun our descent into Kaita 47, a destination where innovation takes flight and the city of tomorrow begins. As we approach the runway, if you look to your right, you can see a destination redefining urban living in Hong Kong, a place where community, culture, and comfort come together to shape the city of tomorrow. On behalf of Urban Alchemists, welcome aboard. We are a crew of 5 from the University of Melbourne. Our vision is to create a precedent for sustainable community-oriented living while also paying homage to the Kaita International Airport. This project addressing 3 main challenges in Hong Kong, where the area is a lack of generous public space, high flood risk and need for the environmental resilience, and the lack of human-scale urban growth due to the large podium tower typologies in the area. The site is located within the Kowloon City Precinct on the location of the old Kaita Airport. The site location has 3 MTR stations and multiple transport, and people are heavily rely on the public transport. The site is broadly mainly by residential development to the west, while the east side is made of industrial area. Kaita was historically a symbol of development, growth, and vision. The reclamation of land for airstrip presented Kaita with a new economic frontier. Even though it was a major transit hub, as development grew around it, urban sprawl and pollution affected the airport functioning. As a result, in the early 90s, an alternate location was selected for the new airport, and the last commercial aircraft took off from the Kaita in 1998, ending 73 years of aviation history. One of the major features that stuck out to us when studying the history of Kaita was the 47-degree sharp turn that airplane took to approach the airport runway, a feature that is so iconic and earth-defining that it was recreated in March 2025, marking a century of Kaita's memory. This goes back to our vision of Kaita 47, a project that transformed luxury and community living in Hong Kong, but also addressing the previous mentioned challenging. We learned the design requirement to develop our projects. Inspired by the 47-degree angle that defined the arrival of flight at Kaita Airport, we create a 47-degree grid to guide our urban fabric. The intersection of this grid is proposed as a key anchor public space that connected along the waterfront. The grid also presents an opportunity for smaller pocket garden shading along the site and providing an experience walking through interconnected public space. The angle also allows us to increase the connectivity across the site to the waterfront, to the stadium, and from the surrounding cities to the waterfront. Buildings oriented at a 47-degree angle maximize views along the waterfront and create continuous viewpoint. The steps down of the building consider streetscape towards the stadium, and the low-rise development in front of the stadium respect the existing views from the stadium facade. Looking at the programmatic distribution, Kaita 47 predominantly own the during space and office space. The plan is to create a vibrant destination around the Kaita Stadium, featuring waterfront retail, hospitality, and lots of accessible open space. The project proposed a balanced density that also allows quality public space while it's making profitable GFA. This brings us a view of the proposed master plan. Blending with the open space is an important feature for livability. We aim to provide a commercial retail and floating restaurant, hospitality and leisure facilities, Grade A offices, as well as the mixed-use residence. We also consider the circulation and services around the site. The location of the MTR station makes the mobility through the site key to the urban fabric, acting as anchor to the Kaita Stadium. The pedestrian-friendly harborfront is also aligned with the larger Hong Kong waterfront development strategy. This is the airway view of the proposal. The angular grid allows us to take advantage of the wind for cooling and the human-scale landways. The layout also plays respect to the surrounding Kowloon district. The project also proposes a multi-connection that is the characteristics of Hong Kong. You can see how the program and platform have been distributed across the site. One of the key features of sustainability in the development is to incorporate water-sensitive urban design. This is a view showing the promenade. We foresee it as an active public space to enhance the wellness opportunity on site. Starting from the northern entry, this is a view looking at a 47-degree vantage point. The project proposes a landscape public space with shading, retail street edges, wayfinding, and activity. Here's another view looking at the floating deck and Park 47. We envision this place could be activated throughout the year for festival, concert, and event. The proposal of this vision is developed in 3 phases in 10 years. The first phase contains pre-development activity, main infrastructure in the core area, then following by the commercial space, such as waterfront, retail, office, hotel, and the first apartment. Phase 1 aims to drive the earlier foot traffic and value the high-value residential and commercial assets. In the second phase is to capture the housing market. Phase 2 build long-term value with expanded residential offerings and amenities to increase the recurring income. In the last phase, highlighting on improving the site as a destination by creating conversation center and museum. Phase 3 financial strategy focus on the selling the museum and convention center to the government as a potential investor. It enhanced the global appeal of the site as a culture destination, especially leveraging its historical airport story. We hope that this idea will bring a new life in Kaita as an urban renewal development, offering an experience of community, culture, and comfort. Kaita 47 is more than a place. It is an icon, a landmark, and a lens into the future. It is an honor to present the Kaita 47 today. We thank you, our mentors, David, Michael, and Judy, who are super supportive. We hope you enjoy the journey with us. Thank you. Now, I would like to hand over to the team SAP University to walk through their proposal.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Rishi, representing Zoning Out Group from CEPT University, India. I am delighted to present our proposal, the Active Shared City. So we are the zoning out group, not zoning out in distraction, but zoning out of rigid conventions. Like a pirate school, we work without hierarchy. Everyone has a voice, a role, and a purpose. With that spirit of sharing and collaboration, we approached the brief, the site, and zoomed out and looked at Hong Kong as a whole. Now, Hong Kong. We feel that Hong Kong is the best city and the most efficient in terms of urban mobility, walkability, infrastructure, and even dramatic urban landscapes. But this efficiency, it comes at a cost of congested living, isolated dwelling units, and a lost connection of shared space. But there was a different way of dealing with density before the Kowloon Wall City. Yes, it was mazed, untidy, chaotic, but it was deeply active and self-sufficient and alive. Uh, Even when we zoom into the section of the Kowloon Wall City, and we see a vertical living intertwined with work, living, play, food, care, and community. It wasn't perfect, but it was profoundly active. For Kowloon, sharing was more about opportunity, which was the past. Now, sharing in Hong Kong is more of a necessity and it's forced upon. What if sharing gives more than what is taken? Designed around the 5 pillars of sharing, we live where living is layered, movement is active, and life is community. We present to you KaiTech 2050, the active shared city. We envision a city where sharing is not just a compromise but a catalyst for vibrant urban life with the goal of creating opportunity, community, and resilience. After that, we later analyze the site's relationship with its current context. First, as our colleagues told, it's in a very prominent location historically and even more so than today. It's located right next to the sports hub. It's very well connected with land and water transport routes. And zooming in, it is also connected with an existing monorail connection. Now, leveraging that existing monorail connection and the sports stadium, we created a strong pedestrian spine that connects both the site with the surroundings and to the sports stadium. Integrating mixed-use residential uses near innovation hubs allows us to seamlessly blend diverse function through carefully designed transitional build forms. By linking all three different build uses, we enhances mobility and create a convenient access to transit stops around. Vehicular movement is restricted to designated points, with the site being mostly pedestrian friendly. And yeah, the open spaces are also thoughtfully programmed. It's from quiet reading zones to informal gathering. These spaces are shared, inclusive, and ever evolving. By integrating active edges, shared spaces, and seamless connectivity, we have shaped a master plan that brings a vision and an active and inclusive development of life. Yeah. This master plan brings together diverse mix of build forms and uses, carefully arranged to interact across different levels. But the urban form of this master plan, it's more than just the arrangement of building. The build form is it's designed to transition from west to east. In the west, the high-rise zone, towers reach up to 180. Community is never lost in the vertical terraces. Every 5 floors act as shared spaces. At the center of lies a cultural center, which is strategically located at the waterfront and near the arrival plaza. To the east, we have the sea-facing residential blocks, where the residents enjoy panoramic views, terrace podiums, and shared courtyards, encourage movements of connection. High-end retail animates the lower floors here. Adjacent to it, a new typology emerges, an innovation-oriented living designed for next generation of creators and entrepreneurs. Compact co-living units with the Innovation Center provides everything from hot desking to meeting rooms, nurturing a 24/7 live-work ecosystem. Lastly, a waterfront that comes alive. The waterfront isn't just a backdrop. This is the main hero, the main stage, designed as a vibrant public space. Now let's step into the pulse of the city, where urban living isn't just about blocks and forms, but how about we live, move, and connect within it. So here we designed 5 shared systems, each one reimagining a different city of life. First comes the shared community where belongingness happens through neighborhood gyms, cafes, and libraries. These aren't just amenities, they see trust and foster mutual care. Then comes shared culture, museum, a theater, pop-up street food corner. They don't just entertain, they nurture pride, expression, and collective memory. Then comes shared mobility, where mobility is just not getting from point A to point B. We created a AAA mobility system, pedestrian first ground floors, mid-level bridges, underground logistics, and vehicular movement. What are these mid-level bridges? They're not just paths, they're active systems. Every walkway doubles as a cafe, deck, a yoga stretch, and a chance encoding. Then from co-working hubs to AR labs and test beds, every square meter enables curiosity, which comes to the shared knowledge. Knowledge is no longer confined to classrooms, it's shared. And then comes shared living, where we imagine smart kitchens, rooftop gardens, daycares. It's affordable, efficient, resilient, designed for convenience and for the community. And then finally, shared energy. Energy creation and becomes active participants in energy generation and conservation. Then the city is not just about its systems, right? So how about one lives there? So we propose 3 types of living clusters, each shaped around different lifestyle. First, we call it a mixed-use culture cluster about everyday synergies. This is for the connectors, families, professionals, and remote workers. Then comes the innovation-oriented cluster, the engine room of ideas. Here, compact homes sit above shared cafes, labs, and workspaces. People live, build, test, and network all in the same place. And finally, luxury living, curated comfort for the visionaries. This is about privacy, elegance, and access. So the active shared city, it's not just one size fits all. It's a city that fits how you live. But then how will we fund this project? To fund this project, we considered several key factors by benchmarking with high-tech market standards, lender risk appetite, boosting leverage IR. We opted for a 70-30 debt to equity ratio for the residential and mixed-use segments, and 65:35 for commercial segments, so that long-term viability and investor confidence is there. Yeah. And to further diversify these income and reduce financial strain, we adopted methods like rental income. This is for the residential income. We also have rental income from the commercial side. And to further diversify this income, we put subscription-based offers in 3 tiers for all the shared facilities we are providing within our site. The project is now strategically divided into 3 phases and 4 major components to optimize capital flow and reduce early stage equity pressure. And phase execution nearly it enables early stage inflows, optimizing cash flow and reducing upfront equity stress. The project achieves a strong 48.7% overall IRR, reflecting efficient capital and financial planning. From a planning and regulatory standpoint, it meets and exceeds key standards. Ground coverage is 38%, which is optimum for the site. The gross floor area is to 82%. Land use, residential, commercial, and other land uses are proportionally distributed, whereas the social infrastructure, the shared spaces, area of allocation is 40% more than standard norms, making it an all-over shared township. Finally, high-tech 2050, it reimagines density not as a challenge, but as an opportunity. We believe collaboration is a new activeness. By designing around the 5 pillars of sharing, we create an active city where every element promotes interaction, sustainability, and well-being. This is not just a master plan, it's a shared ecosystem where community grows stronger together. Thank you again.
Well, thank you, finalists. What an amazing series of presentation. You have brought such a creative depth, creativity, vision to your proposal, and it's been inspiring to see how you're shaping the future of city. You have truly shown us what the next generation of city builders can achieve. We will now kick off our panel discussion. I would like to invite our jury members and student representatives to switch on your camera so we can see your bright and brilliant faces. As you do that, I would love to introduce one of our longtime jury members for the competition, Phil Kim, shareholder, senior vice president, and managing director for Asia Pacific at Jurdy, ULI trustee, former chair of the ULI Hong Kong National Council, co-chair of Urban Plan Asia, and a member of the Asia Pacific Executive Council. Welcome, Phil, and welcome again to Sefton and all our student panelists. We got everyone here. Okay, let's dive in. Phil, I heard the judging was incredibly tight this year. What were the standout ideas or moments that surprised or inspired you most?
Well, anything that's not outside of my daily job is pretty inspiring, but particularly related to ULI and obviously all of the optimism that I saw from the student teams. I think what was really surprising for us was, I mean, given the demands of the competition and the fact that all the students are actually also taking a full course load, there's only a few weeks to really come to terms with all of the information. And so given such short deadlines and the speedy response that's needed, I generally will have to say I feel very optimistic about our industries down the line because not just the three teams represented here today, but I would say dozens of the entries were very well thought through. The analysis was done very quickly. And I would say the vast majority of the students did not know the site or probably a lot of them had never been to Hong Kong. So to try to understand very complex urban situations and systems, I know this because I designed the site. And given that there was highly dense areas, a stadium with open space around it, waterfront, and urban mobility issues, there are really four different prototypical conditions that have to come together. And I think hopefully everyone who's on the call today can see that these three teams representing their interpretation of the Hong Kong version of city making, how many ideas were actually generated. So on the whole, I would say the high degree of knowledge for great principles of city making, neighborhood strategies, and human experience all really came through with the top teams. So I'll kind of leave it there, but just generally, I was personally very impressed at the wealth of ideas, the different interpretations, and how quickly such quality of schemes actually came together. So, I'm happy for Septon and Hines because as they put more of these competitions together, but really as really excellent developers themselves, they'll be looking to all of you for the vision and insight and the talent that's actually now available. So a whole world for Hines to select from down the line.
Stefan, is that you have something to add to it?
Look, I was just, the real standout for me was just the diversity and the approach that all the teams took. Every team came at it from a different angle, fresh perspectives. It was a challenging site, and everyone stress tested conventional perspectives with respect to, I guess, conventional utilization of the development site. And just to reiterate what Phil said, the standard was exceptionally high, and you've all got very bright futures ahead.
Cool. Okay. Sorry.
I just have one thing to comment on though, and that is that the vast majority of the schemes, the finances. If I was a developer and I was hiring you guys, and you could actually deliver on those high financial performances, I would be ecstatic. I think that is something as urbanists and architects and designers that we have to look at a bit more carefully in terms of how we do analyze the numbers, because it's extremely important for cities and investment companies and your future clients. So testing that I think is important. Of course, given 3-4 weeks of time only, you have to work on principles. But that is something that I think in order to be excellent professionals after you guys all finish, this is something to be conscious of.
Yeah, it's always about striking the balance in between. Okay, I'm going to the student right now, Jay from Chulalongkorn University. What was the biggest challenge your team faced during their design process, and how did you overcome it?
I'm from Archimedes team, and so I think our biggest challenge was balancing density, livability, and sustainability in Hong Kong highly complex context. It wasn't just about design. We had to interleave housing needs, quality of life, and financial feasibility all at once. We start by analyzing Hong Kong physics, economy, and culture layer. Then mapped user group by lifestyle and spending behavior. Through this process, we realize that true urban balance comes from diversity. That's why we propose a mixed income, mixed use economy system, a city loop that can sustain itself through people, place, and purpose. Thank you.
I see. So mainly like the complex situation in the site actually is the biggest challenge in general. Septon, from your perspective, like such a complex and multi-layer competition, like how students can approach it in the same, like a real world development process? Do you see like there's relationship between the two?
Yeah, I think one of the opportunities this competition provides is that it presents a different opportunity for undergraduate students in that, you know, the academic part of a student's growth is obviously very important to their future career, but combining that study with real life industry interaction and real life scenarios enables students to test, challenge, question, and implement those learnings. I think it enables the development of other skills, which are also key. So presenting, marketing their pitch, communicating and articulating their ambitions and vision for the site. All are really important skills to develop to complement those, I guess, more binary academic skills that you might learn in your undergraduate studies. I think the competition also enables interaction with industry professionals, so to get access to people like Phil and the other jurors, it's invaluable and something that all of the students I know embraced, and I'd really encourage for next year's participants.
Yeah, absolutely. Krishna, from the University of Melbourne, do you agree with Shepton? Like, what skill or mindset did you gain that now you apply to your academic work or professional work later on?
Hi. There's a lot of stuff that we learned through this entire process, and one that we definitely like to put forward was the lessons that we learned from the combined industry mentorship and academic mentorship system. So it's how our industry mentor specifically taught us how to treat design constraints and how that could become specific features in your final design. So we had a lot of constraints wherein there was this very strong design element with the Kitech Stadium that existed. Now, how do you complement that without overpowering, either feeling overpowered? Because both are major development projects that's coming up in a historically iconic location. And something else that I guess could be a challenge, but is something that we've realized is invaluable that we'll be taking forward, is the multidisciplinary aspect of the competition. Urban design planning cannot exist in a vacuum, where we have to constantly collaborate with people from other fields. And so that opportunity that the competition presented, I guess going in, we realized that we had architects, urban designers who had architecture background, urban designers who had an interior and landscape background, and one person from business and marketing. Very quickly realized that we all speak different languages, and we had to come to a common ground where we had to share the same language. And that was something that we would definitely like to take forward. And the way that a business and marketing person talks about property marketing versus someone from the property background speaks of it, or someone from urban design speaks of it, is so different. And the things that we learn from that, I have never thought of market cap in a city that is, I haven't even thought of it in Melbourne. But because of this competition, we've been introduced to so many factors, and we've also noticed that unknowingly, we've started thinking of that in our projects in university as well. And that's really led us in a different direction, especially now that most of our team is doing our thesis. And there's also the difference between how you would tackle a real world project that's about to be delivered on site, how you would tackle an academic project that's for submission, and one like how you would tackle a competition. So that difference in vision on brief would also be something that we definitely take forward.
Yeah, like great insight. It's actually a resemblance of the real world situation. Like you need to coordinate with very different background and expertise. Before moving on, audience, if it's time for you to put some questions, like just type them into the Q&A box below. We can circle back later. Okay, I'm going to Dan. As a member of the winning team at university, you had the chance to attend the ULI Asia Pacific Summit in Hong Kong back in May. How did that experience deepen your understanding of real estate industry? Do you have any cool experience can share with us?
The summit completely changed our perspective. Being in Hong Kong, meeting professionals, getting a chance to discuss our design, being able to visit offices like SOM, made us see where the ideas actually go, and it gave us visibility and a sense of a large ecosystem we were part of. Personally, it was transformative. Sriram from our team actually started to start his own firm. I shifted towards exploring global opportunities and design urban strategies. That exposure made us both rethink our paths, and I guess that's the kind of impact that the summit is behind.
Thank you. Cool. What is your favorite moment at the summit?
I guess the fact that we were part of a group of people where we were the only students. So much to learn. Every person you talk to was someone from the same discipline, but in a completely different role of what we could imagine. Getting to know a lot about the market from them was absolutely a great experience.
Cool. That's great. Okay. Maybe I'll go back to the jury right now. So we are kicking off our next year competition very soon, which is later today. Are there any tips or any guidance you will offer to our next year participant? Bill or Septon?
I'm happy to kick off. I think the opportunity to have access to global industry professionals is quite unique, and it's something that this competition provides. Representing Hines, I guess I approach the competition looking for innovative and new ideas and perspectives. So I would really encourage competitors to be bold and brave in their approach to their submissions. Challenge conventional thought and what might be a conventional approach to the site that's proposed. Now, I'm not familiar with what next year's competition is going to be, but yeah, just look at it, pull it apart, and look at what is going to differentiate yourselves from your competition. Because I think as jurors, it's we're looking for the next crop of industry professionals to really lead the way and come at it with innovative and sustainable thought processes.
Bill.
Yeah. I guess if we think about kind of the changes to our learning environment and our profession, in any case, that we have so many tools, and that was very evident with all the student teams, that how quickly they were able to synthesize information to idea generation. So if I continue to think about the evolution of planning and city making, city building, development, I think it's really kind of breaking down all of the barriers. Somebody mentioned multidisciplinary, and it's the furthering of integrating all the various elements and components so that when you tell the story overall, the strongest concept isn't one from just a planning or conceptual architecture point of view, but that you have an entire singular kind of story that binds everything together. Because at the end of the day, all the things that you're doing with this exercise is designed to show how it serves the people of the city and the context of the competition itself. So while you're going to have hopefully 3, 4, 5 disciplines covered within your team, really think about the synthesizing story. Why does this make a fundamental difference if it was a real project for the city that you're designing for?
Amazing comment. Thank you, Phil and Septon. Very complex, but in-depth. So I'm conscious about time. Now I'm gonna ask everyone one question. I'm gonna go to the student first. In one sentence, what is your biggest takeaway from this journey? I will go to Jay first.
Okay. From academic team, I can say design is not about creating form. It's about shaping connection that make people feel they belong.
Well said. To Krishna.
I would say that good, meaningful urban design comes from when you look at what existed before you go in, what the people currently want, to write what people might want in the future, what it evolves into the future.
Cool. Dan?
I guess designers support clarity, collaboration, and conviction.
Wow. Okay, now I'm going to the jury. In one sentence, what excites you most about seeing student proposal again next year? Shaktin?
I guess just following on from what I just said previously, I'm just excited to see what's next. See what the competitors bring to the challenge, what fresh perspectives and ideas are brought forward. I know a lot of the submissions this year challenged, I guess, my preconceptions about the best use of that particular site, and yeah, I enjoyed being challenged by those fresh ideas and perspectives. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's next.
Okay, Phil?
Yeah, it's the only aspect of the Hines competition which I wish changes down the line a little bit is being able to engage a bit more in dialogue between the jurors and the competition teams. We're using ULI Rose, you and Keneal as a bridge because if you were able to listen to the fierce debates within the jury as we went through 3 rounds of reviewing the schemes. We don't always agree on everything. So I think debate, opposition of ideas, trying to resolve chaos, and ultimately collaborating in order to agree on what would have the biggest impact on the final scheme. That's an incredibly interesting aspect, which you probably get less of from a student perspective, given the restrictions of time. But that's something that I hope can be explored down the line over the next generation.
100%. Definitely. We heard you. Thank you, Phil. And we'd love to be part of that fierce conversation too. Yeah. Okay. Now we come to the end of today's event. Thank you to our wonderful panel for sharing your insight with us. I hope everyone listening today is inspired, perhaps encourage your school or peers to join the 2026 competition, or just simply to spread the word. So audience right now, please show some love. There's a reaction button below, give our finalists some hearts, some thumbs up, some party poppers, a big round of applause for our 2025 finalists and their incredible creativity. And while those reactions rolling in, I would like to invite our program manager, the soul of our program, Keneal Chung, to share some exciting updates about the 2026 competition. So Keneal, over to you.
Thanks, Rose, and thank you everyone for joining us this past hour. I hope that you've learned a lot from our finalists from last year and our two jury members. We're excited to announce that the 2026 competition will come back. Registration period will begin in November 20, and everyone who has registered to this event will receive an email notification with the recording of today's webinar, as well as the key dates and all the information that you need for next year's competition. We hope that you can join us as we start to ramp up the campaign materials and officially begin the campaign period. We will be having another competition Q&A webinar on November 26th. We hope that you can join us there. It'll cover everything from competition guidelines, process, case studies from the previous proposals that we received. And yes, we'll see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You.